Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a good week so far. It's kind of crazy. Yesterday was midpoint of the year. I know because I have a flip calendar and I'm like, oh, I have to turn it around. So I am going to show you what sold today. I'm actually going to do a mix today. So you're going to see some of those bread and butter, $20 to $40, plus you're going to see some higher dollar. There are a couple in here that sold in under an hour, very, very fast. And I would really like your opinion on whether you think I sold them too low or not as a fellow reseller. And then I also actually did an auction, which I very, very rarely do. So I'm going to show you that as well. It did sell on auction. Nothing super exciting, but it sold. That's the big key. So I'll talk about that a little bit more when I show you that one as well. There are quite a few, actually almost 30 on eBay that I wanted to show you just because we had so many really, really good ones. And then Poshmark has been really busy this week as well. So quite a few on there to show you. And then one from Mercari. Mercari's still kind of wah-wah. So let's go ahead, take a look. I'm going to show you. Oh, there's Dalton. I'm going to show you. He's been eating Nutella if you see his mouth. I'm going to show you the back of our eBay store so you can see our numbers. This week, again, is down from what we have been, but we're still up over 50% over last month. So that is still okay. And it's always a roller coaster. We just have had some really good highs over the last few weeks. So we were due for a little bit slower. So let's go ahead, take a look. So here's our back door to eBay. You can see today is like really bad. We are only at $67.69. It's almost 5 o'clock, so it is later. Yesterday we only did $250, $330 on Sunday. Saturday was okay at $504. Friday was not impressive at $189. Last Thursday, $386. $499, $636. So you can see that's when we started going downhill, and then we went up, and then we went down. So overall for the week, we're at $2,229. We are at $16,300 for the month and $37,000 for our 90-day total, which is still up 56.4% over last month. So again, we are still up. I'm not gonna try to take small sampling and like, the sky is falling. That's just not me. I try to keep a positive outlook on it. So I'll just keep consistently listing and they should come back up. And I am going to show you again, about 25 or so that have made up that $2,200 in sales over the last 7 days. We are starting off with one that took a long time to sell, took well over a year. This is a vintage Malay mini wooden armoire jewelry cabinet. It was 11 inches by 9 inches. So not really big, kind of a dresser top one. It took a 55% off offer, which was $34. Or maybe I only sent 50. I only sent 50. So it sold for $34. And again, really long time. So this is something I would not pick up again. And I did pick this up thrifting and I only paid about $5. So it's still over a $20 profit. Just took a long time. And this is a bigger piece. You know, this is taking up quite a bit of room in our storage. And I did look it up, but I don't think I checked the sell-through rate because I bought this quite a long time ago. So again, jewelry boxes can sell, and I do believe I have a jewelry box video I can pop up top for you. They do sell, but not all name brands. So definitely make sure you check exactly what you're looking at before you pick it up, because this is one that I would not pick up again. Next up is one that sold very, very fast at that $107.99. This is a J. King DTR green Seaflower stone sterling silver necklace and earrings lot. And this one sold in under a week from being listed. Very, very fast. That green sea flower is not seen very often. I did figure out what that stone was by using Google Lens. That is one of our best friends around here. So if you don't know J. King DTR, that's Desert Rose Trading. And here you can see almost all of his necklaces, a pretty good majority are 18 with a 2-inch extender. So it makes them up to that 20-inch length. This set also came with earrings. There is the DTR China. The T and the R are on top of each other here. And there is that heart clasp. That is also a signature of J. King. So make sure you watch for these, because I find these in gemstone lots, not very often, but I do find them occasionally. Really, really pretty gemstones. And you can see this is a really chunky, heavy necklace at 119 grams. And this one I did pay $20 for in an online estate auction, making it about a $70 profit in under a week. Next up is another one that sold very, very fast. This one sold in under a week. This is a hand-painted Fenton holly and berry vase. This one was a limited edition, signed by George Fenton, 115 of 250. And you might be saying, oh, you undersold it. Well, I looked at the comps, and I also looked at WorthPoint to see what it actually sold for. So somebody does have one really high, but historically in the last 10 years, none had sold that high. I did not want mine sitting there forever, so I priced it a little bit higher than what the historical sales price was, which topped out at about $65. So I went about $5 higher. This one sold for $69.99 in under a week. I paid $20 for this, making it about a $40 profit after fees. It is an absolutely beautiful piece of Fenton. I did get it in a Fenton lot from an online estate auction. And there you can see the numbering. And I really thought it would be worth more. But again, I saw multiple sold on WorthPoint in the last 10 years between the $50 and $60 range. It's one of the few things I actually collect, and that is a Native American sand painting. This is a Hopi Kachina with the fetish bear. And this one took a year and took half off to get it sold. Sold for $34.99. I probably priced this one a little too high. So if I get some this size again, I'll price them around the $40 range versus $70. So it doesn't take as long, hopefully. Got this in an online auction though for under $5. So it's still over a $20 profit, even though it did take a year. At least it is flat. It did have a signature here on the back. You can see that one. It says Bear Hunchback. And it also had the artist's signature as well. So not great from the original sales price, but this is one I think I'm going to need to adjust my pricing on if I get more. Next up is one that took a year to sell, but it sold for full price. This is a Caribbean Roundtree in York shirt, men's, medium. I did put white fireworks flag 4th of July. Hopefully this gets to them in time. They ordered it a little last minute. And this one I got at the thrift store for $5. Again, it did sell for full price, so over a $20 profit on this as well, which is what we shoot for our minimum. I will tell you this year that our average sales price is at $47. My goal was $50, so we're very, very close to that. And this one took a while, but is still a good profit. This one right here is a very, very good reason to comp, because if I saw a pair of Abercrombie shorts, I would not think they would be something I was going to price at $100. I did take a best offer of $85. They did take a year to sell. I only paid $1. They sold for $85. They are over a $70 profit. Even though it took a year, I am okay with that. So these I Google Lens, and apparently this style of short just sells very high. These were still new with the tags. And there is the back, but make sure you search with Google Lens, not just words on some of them, because there are certain styles that will sell for more money. Here is another J. King necklace. This is another one that sold very fast. This one only took about 2 weeks. And this one's simply a turquoise chip necklace that is a double strand. Sold at that full price, $49.99. I paid $20. I average probably about $15 to $25 per J. King necklace. So I do pay up for them, but typically it is well worth it. On this one, it's going to end me up at about that $20 profit, but very, very fast. So here you can see the necklace. And again, there is that DTR 925. They are made in China. There it is a little bit closer for you where you can see it a little bit better. And again, the 18 to 20 inch length, which is very, very common with the J. King pieces. This one was almost 30 grams, so a little bit of a chunky necklace and a really, really good sale, full price in under 2 weeks. Next up is a very, very cute sailboat quilt nautical pattern. This was a wall hanging. I did put beach house decor, and this one took just shy of a year to sell. So a lot of my linens are longer tail. This sold for a best offer I sent out of $25.99. Picked this up for just $3 at the thrift store though. So it's only about a $15 profit, but it was really, really cute. It is a handmade piece, and stuff like this I just cannot leave behind when I'm thrifting. Next up was a very, very fast sale. This is a pair of Rue 21 women's high-rise flare distressed jeans. Got these in a clothing lot, paid about $3 for them. They did sell for full price, and they did sell in under a month. So very, very fast. Only about a $12 profit, but I am okay with that. Jeans, when they're folded, do not take up a ton of space. And these, again, sold very, very fast. Next up is another one that took over a year and took a 55% off offer. This one sold for $40.95, but it was in a jewelry lot for only $2. So this is over a $30 profit. Here you can see the Kate Spade New York. We did have the dust bag with it. It was new with the tag as well. So some Kate Spade can be valuable. I had this priced high, but I had it a long time, so I let it go. You can see here on this one, the retail was $78. And again, we got about half of that. So don't always use that retail as a price point, because a lot of times you're not going to get it. And there are sometimes you're going to get more than it depending on the demand on that particular item. I'm happy with the $40 because it is over a $30 profit. Next up is probably one of the favorite hats I have ever found. This is a vintage UF Florida Gators Taz and Looney Tunes 1990s hat, and it was rare, and it took 2 years for this bad boy to sell. 2 years, but it sold for full price at $84.49, and I only paid $1. So this one is very close to a $70 profit on a hat, which again, very, very happy with that. You can see here the photographs. We do use that styrofoam head for our hat pictures. This is a made in China hat, still got that $84. If you photograph or sell hats, I would recommend getting one of the styrofoam heads. I think they just make them display so much better. Next up is another fast sale, and this is something, it's kind of more recent to me picking them up, and that's a bra. This is a Vanity Fair Beauty Back wire-free full figure bra. I have the number. I know all of this because it is new with the tags, and I still got it for only $1. So this one is about an $18 profit, sold in under a month. So with the bras, I do pick up a few used, but I've been very, very lucky to find a lot of new ones. So here you can see the MSRP is $42. Again, brand new with the tag. I had the name of it. I had the number, which I think does help sell them because people have ones that they really like and they want to get a new one once theirs is worn out. And this was a very, very fast sale. Here is another one that took over a year to sell. This is a tapestry throw pillow. Pansies. I did put cottage court flowers. This one and most throw pillows I pick up for $1 to $2 at the thrift store. It sold for a best offer of $26, though it did take over a year. So tapestry and vintage pillows are another thing I really like to pick up. And they're another thing like the linens that are hit or miss. They're kind of in that same category. You can see this one was signed. I can read the Judy, I think it's Judy Boswell, and I probably was able to find that, but she wasn't somebody that was overly popular, so I chose not to put her name in the title and instead put keywords. I am getting down to a pretty low percent of these Louis Mideke pottery pieces. I originally picked up 80 of them. This one sold for a best offer of $45. I am at the 2-year point for how long I've had them now. I paid about $8 a piece. So this one is about a $28 profit. I have made hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these though. So I'm at the point now where I will accept 50% or higher. And this one I got the $45 offer and I was very happy with that. Next up is one that took about 8 months to sell, and that is a pair of Oakley Leffingwell sunglasses. They were matte with jade and prism black glasses. These had the case as well as the box. They did sell for full price at $89.99. Summer stuff is selling now. Obviously, we are in summer. So your bathing suits, your sunglasses, swim trunks for the guys, flip-flops, things like that are definitely going to be in more demand right now. These were bought in a big designer buyout. I bought out a consignment store, and that buy is in the profit. So we will consider this all profit after fees. I do figure about 20% on average for my fees. Sometimes it's a little bit higher. So these are going to be a $70 profit. And here you can see the box, and I do pick up sunglasses. I actually just got quite a few pairs of Ray-Bans from an online estate auction, and these Oakleys were a good sell, but they did take 8 months. Next up was a really, really good sale. I did take $100 off though. They sold for $150. This pair of vintage Levi's 505s. And these were 31 by 32s. They were new. I didn't have that much in, and they had been listed 9 months. As you saw, the sales have been low this week. So that all plays a factor into how much I'm willing to take off of an offer. And that's something you have to decide for yourself. You know what you paid. You know how long you've had it. You can also recheck the comps as well before taking a lower offer. So $150 on these, making them about $120 profit. So really not too bad of a profit. There you can see the tag as well as the patch on the back. And these took 9 months, but were a very good profit. I told you at the beginning of this video that I had one auction, and this is it. So I did a 7-day auction on this. I started it off at $99.99. And I wanted to talk to you about auctions. So most auctions, or most items, should not be auctioned. This is the first auction I've ran in months. And I pulled this up, saw that it was Schiaparelli, most likely, or Schiaparelli. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I apologize. Saw that that's what this was, most likely. I did put a question mark because it is not signed. I did put unsigned. And the crazy thing is I had 3 different bidders. I started at 99. It went to 115.50. Not a big jump, but a fast sale. It sold in a week. All of my buyers were from China. All of the bidders were from China. It was paid for, and really, really neat piece. I have noticed a lot with the iridescent leaves. There are quite a few valuable pieces that have those. So try and pay attention to that. This was a very, very heavy. You can see it was 35 grams. And I could tell it was very good quality. And there were no other ones like it. That is why I decided to auction it. And the name is a popular name. So that is what made me make that decision. But again, make sure you have an item that is in demand. Otherwise, you're going to have auctions that either don't get bidders or will sell for lower than you want. So that's why you always want to make sure you start off at the lowest that you're willing to take. Next up is a fun one. And if you missed my video on Lisa Frank, definitely go watch that. I'll put that up top for you right now. I got a lot of Lisa Frank items for $400. We ended up, I think, between $3 and $5 in a piece. A lot of them were very high dollar. This one did take a 55% off offer in order to get it sold. It sold for $29.25, so it's about a $15 profit, and it took 2 years. But if you don't know the name Lisa Frank, definitely one you want to know. And this is a classic 1990s signature. There are different ones for the 80s as well as the newer ones. So Google Lisa Frank signature, and you'll see those different ones and when they're from. And I'm happy with this profit, even though it took a while. Next up is a gorgeous signed Navajo ring. This one sold for a best offer of $84.49. This one was signed DSD. I did put sterling silver and turquoise. It was a size 8.5, so pretty decent size. I did pay $20 for it. It sold for the $84, so about a $50 profit after fees. And here you can see there's the DSD, the SS for sterling silver. This was an older ring. Really, really nice. And I think the buyer got a really great deal on this one. Another pair of Levi's. These are relaxed fit jeans. These were 48 by 30. I did put work pants, and these I got for $1. So these were a thrift store find. They sold for a best offer of $22.74, making them about a $16 profit. They did take about 8 months to sell. And I picked these up because of the bigger size. It is easier in my experience to sell like a 40 and bigger. And when I see 48 pants, good condition, decent brand for $1, I will pick them up. Next up is one of the two items I referred to at the beginning that sold within an hour of me listing it. This is a vintage. I did put Bennett patent pending because for some reason on bolo ties that seems to sell them, and I don't know why. So this is a Thunderbird bolo tie, black braided leather cord. This is not sterling silver, and I did put that the metal was just silver tone, and sold for $39.99. Very, very fast. We'll take a look at it. And I got this in an online auction lot with other bolo ties, and it did not have the tips either. So for me, getting that $40 when I'm only in about 5, I'm making a $25 profit, and this one was very fast. So let me know if you sell stuff like this with it not being sterling silver, if you think I still priced too low and it had no tips. Up next is the second item that sold within an hour of me listing it. This is a vintage deer elk tapestry wall hanging mountain landscape. I paid up for this. I paid $10 for it at the thrift store. It sold for $39.99 really fast. I comped these. There were a lot of them selling at like 25. There were a couple that sold higher, but the majority were selling in the 20s. So I'm like, I'm going to price it at $39.99, and it sold so fast. It's small though. It's 36 inches by 18. It is not a bigger one. I don't know if it was keywords. I'm not sure. Just right place, right time. Let me know. Let me know what you think. So it sold for $39.99. Again, I paid that $10. So this one is going to be about a $20 profit very, very fast. I forgot about this one. This one's another one that sold in just a couple of hours. Now, this one I did send a best offer out of $62.99, and they accepted very, very fast. This is a tablecloth I picked up for under $1. So this is very, very close to a $50 profit, probably about $48. And I put vintage fruit floral tablecloth, pink white center, great berries, and I put fruit salad. I think fruit salad stuff, for whatever reason, does well. So I could not find any like this. This was just me coming up with a price out of my head. And after selling linens for so long, that kind of just comes natural. But really, any of you can do that. If it takes a long time, you might want to reevaluate the price. This one sold so fast. It's a really pretty tablecloth. And here you can see the photographs. It was 42 by 51, so not even a really big tablecloth. Just the color, the fruit salad thing, I priced it up and it worked out. So again, on this one as well, let me know if you think that I sold it too low or it was another right place, right time. Next up is another one that took over a year. This is another linen item. It was not a named one. It did have a tag, but I don't believe there was a brand. This is a blue houndstooth print. It was big. It was a full queen, and I had to send out half off. So sold for $19.50, but this was a $5 pickup from the thrift store. So overall, really not a great profit. It was only a $10 profit. It was made in China. So I think I picked this up because I was like, oh, satin lining does well, but I think I was missing the mark on that one. Here is another fast sale. This one sold in under a week. This is a Swarovski. I did put Swan brand silver chain necklace with the faceted pink crystal heart, and sold for a best offer. I sent out a 10% off. So if you're not sending out offers, make sure you start. It is really important. I feel 5% is not enough to get somebody's attention, and 10% is the most I want to do for items that have been listed less than 3 months. But throughout this video, you've seen quite a few that it has sold. So this was bought in an online auction lot. I'm only $3 into it. So it's over a I have the hiccups, $15 profit on a really insignificant necklace that I didn't realize. That's, again, Google Lens, do your research. There's the swan for the Swarovski brand. It was on the pendant as well as the clasp, and really, really good sale and fast profit. This is the last one for eBay. And then I've got the Mercari and quite a few Poshmark sales that I would like to share with you. This is Yes We Vibe women's floral butterfly sneakers, size 9. I did put boho hippie lightweight shoes, sold for full price in 2 days. So these were actually bought from an online estate auction. I bought a closet full of shoes and had them shipped to me. And we are going through them, pulling the ones that are worth that $20, $25 or more. And I got a lot of these Yes We Vibes. The sell-through rate is not great on these, but the ones I got have really good prints that there were not that many of. And I think that size 9 is a great size as well, and in excellent condition also. So 25 bucks. I only paid a couple dollars. Now this, I had to be really careful because of the way that this was written. I think these are 7.5 in guys and 9 in women's. And that tag kind of confused me. You can see they really don't look like they were worn, but I wasn't sure. So I did not list them that way. And these were a very, and it actually, look, it looks like I did list them. So I thought I put them as used. However, I really do not believe these were worn, and they were a very fast sale. So if you see shoes that are colorful with prints like this, check the brand, and if you can get them cheap, I would pick them up and try them. I'm going to jump in here really, really fast. I am not going to give you a whole big spiel on List Perfectly. I will tell you that is who we used to cross post, but I wanted to tell you I am doing a video on Friday on all of their new features, which are incredible. Time savers, money makers. And if you have been thinking about cross posting, or you have a cross posting service you're not really thrilled with, keep an eye out Friday for that video on List Perfectly. And along with that video, I'm going to have a really big surprise for you guys. So watch out Friday for that. Let's hop on over and see what sold on Mercari and Posh. First up, this is a Steve Miller Band, Greatest Hits 1974 to 1978. My records have almost all sold on Mercari. So if you have records, I definitely recommend you cross-posting them in Mercari. Sold for $40. I paid $5, about a $30 profit. Mercari is the lowest in fees of the platforms that we use. So here you can see we showed the front, the back. We also zoomed in because it says they bought it in April of '79, which was kind of cool. So a little bit of provenance with this record. And this one took about 6 months to sell. Moving on over to Poshmark. The first one is the Scentsy Rustic Star Electric Swirl Aroma. So you can see I put these together. It was a plug-in as well as just one that sits on the counter. Sold them both for $25. I put them together because alone they weren't worth a good price point. And on Poshmark, it's nice because anything up to 5 pounds ships for one price. So it's cheaper for the buyer. It's simple as a seller. These were a $17 payout. I paid $5 for these. So they're only a $12 profit. I'm glad they sold though. I picked them up because a lot of Scentsy, especially more rare ones, can be valuable. These just were not that. And so I am happy with the $12 and happy to get them gone. a Billabong Roadie backpack, brown sugar, tropical Hawaiian. We did put Reed because it did have a little bit of damage. Payout was $20. I paid $5 for this at the thrift store, so $15 profit. Took about 6 months, so a little bit longer. Somebody probably got this to use as a beach bag. This would make a cute little beach bag. So as far as what was wrong, one of the adjustable pieces here was missing and the strap was tied. So that was the issue with the backpack, and we are showing that tie there. And it still sold for $25 with that $20 payout. We still made a $15 profit. I did not notice that flaw at the thrift store. You can see there's some wear to the bottom as well. I just thought this print was a really, really good one, and I am happy with the sale. Next up, this is an Unger Professional Rinse and Go Spotless Car Washing System. Now, this one, I actually pulled the filters. I had 3 bags of reusable filters, sold those for $75, also sold this for $75, and I got all of it for $25. And so I was in the profit already on the last one, making this one over a $60 profit. When I see anything like this, I look it up. You know, it's, you know, a system in a box. I'm like, yeah, let me look this thing up. Turned out it was valuable. I separated it because those filters were worth more. And this one took about 8 months to sell. Next up is an XOX Betsy Johnson Dome Satchel Crossbody Handbag. White, pink, floral. I did put clean. This one sold for $30. Picked it up for $10 at the thrift store. It was a really pretty one in really great shape. So only about a $15 profit, but it sold in under a month, pretty fast. And I just really like the design. That's why I picked it up. I don't pick up a ton of purses. I'm pretty particular when it comes to them. Unless I get them in an online auction lot. That's the only exception. I don't pick up a ton when I'm out thrifting unless they're a really great deal. But this one sold very fast. It is not the best profit, but not bad either. This is going to be the last item for today. I wanted to show you though, because I think you might run into these and some of them can be very valuable. This one took a long time to sell though, but sold for $27. I got it for under $1. It's a $20 profit, and some of them are worth more. So this is a Longaberger lid, and actually I have a Longaberger video. You will be amazed at some of the prices that these Longaberger baskets sell for if they are rare. And this one took a long time, but it's a flat piece. It's not going to take up a bunch of space, and it was a decent profit. All right, that was everything. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the rest of your week goes good. Hope you enjoyed our Tuesday night podcast that we had last night. If you don't know, we do answer questions live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come and join us for sure. I would love to see you there. I appreciate you watching. Do not forget to watch that video on List Perfectly on Friday. Some amazing new features that will save you money, make you money, and really, really blow your mind. So I will see you guys on Friday, and hope you're making lots and lots of sales.